Kobe Bean Bryant was an American professional basketball player. A shooting guard, he spent his entire 20-year career with the Los Angeles Lakers in the National Basketball Association. Widely regarded as one of the greatest basketball players of all time, Bryant won 5 NBA championships, was an 18-time All-Star, a 15-time member of the All-NBA team, a 12-time member of the All-Defensive team, the 2008 NBA Most Valuable Player, and a 2-time NBA Finals MVP. Bryant also led the NBA in scoring twice, and ranks 4th in league all-time regular season and postseason scoring. He was posthumously voted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in 2020 and named to the NBA 75th anniversary team in 2021. The son of former NBA player Joe Bryant, he was born in Philadelphia and partly raised in Italy. Recognized as the top American high school basketball player while at Philadelphia suburb Lower Merion, Bryant declared for the 1996 NBA draft and was selected by the Charlotte Hornets with the 13th overall pick. He was then traded to the Lakers. As a rookie, Bryant earned a reputation as a high flyer by winning the 1997 Slam Dunk Contest, and was named an All-Star by his second season. Despite a feud with teammate Shaquille O'Neal, the pair led the Lakers to 3 consecutive NBA championships from 2000 to 2002. In 2003, Bryant was charged with sexual assault, with the alleged victim being a 19-year-old hotel employee. Criminal charges were later dropped after the accuser failed to testify, and a lawsuit was settled out of court, with Bryant issuing a public apology and admitting to a sexual encounter he maintained was consensual. The accusation briefly tarnished Bryant's reputation, resulting in the loss of several of his endorsement contracts. After the Lakers lost the 2004 NBA Finals, O'Neal was traded and Bryant became the cornerstone of the franchise. He led the NBA in scoring in the 2005-06 and 2006-07 seasons and was named League MVP in 2008. On January 22, 2006, he scored a career-high 81 points, the second most points scored in a single NBA game, behind Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. Bryant led the team to consecutive championships in 2009 and 2010, both times being named NBA Finals MVP. He continued to be among the top players in the league through the 2012-13 season, when he suffered a torn Achilles tendon at age 34. His next 2 seasons were cut short by injuries to his knee and shoulder, respectively. Citing physical decline, Bryant retired after the 2015-16 season. In 2017, the Lakers retired both his NOS 8 and 24, making him the only player in NBA history to have multiple numbers retired by the same franchise. The all-time leading scorer in Lakers history, Bryant was the first guard in NBA history to play 20 seasons. His 18 All-Star designations are the second most all-time, and he has the most consecutive appearances as a starter. Bryant's 4 NBA All-Star Game MVP awards are tied with Bob Pettit for the most in NBA history. He gave himself the nickname Black Mamba in the mid-2000s, and the epithet became widely adopted by the general public. He won gold medals on the 2008 and 2012 U.S. Olympic teams. In 2018, he won the Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film for the film Dear Basketball. Bryant died, along with his daughter Gianna and 7 others, in a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California, in 2020. A number of tributes and memorials were subsequently issued, including renaming the All-Star MVP award in his honor. Early life. Bryant was born in Philadelphia, the youngest of 3 children and the only son of Pamela Cox Bryant and former NBA player Joe Bryant. He was also the maternal nephew of NBA player John Chubby Cox. His parents named him after the famous beef of Kobe, Japan, which they saw on a restaurant menu. His middle name, Bean, was derived from his father's nickname Jellybean. Bryant's family was Catholic and he was brought up with this faith. Bryant started playing basketball when he was 3, and the Lakers were his favorite team when he was growing up. When Bryant was 6, his father retired from the NBA and moved his family to Rieti in Italy to continue playing professional basketball. After 2 years, they moved first to Reggio Calabria, then to Pistoia and Reggio Emilia. Kobe became accustomed to his new lifestyle and learned to speak fluent Italian. He was especially fond of Reggio Emilia, which he considered a loving place and where some of his best childhood memories were made. Bryant began to play basketball seriously while living in Reggio Emilia. Bryant's grandfather would mail him videos of NBA games for Bryant to study. Another source of inspiration was animated European films about sports, from which he learned more about basketball. From 1987 to 1989, his father played for Olimpia Basket Pistoia, where he paired with former Detroit Pistons Leon Douglas. Kobe would work at the games as a ball and mop boy and would practice shooting at halftime, with Douglas sharing, "At every one of our games at halftime, it was the Kobe show. He'd get out there and get his shot up. We'd come out of the locker room at halftime and have to chase him off the court." Bryant also learned to play soccer, and his favorite soccer team was AC Milan. During summers, Bryant would come back to the United States to play in a basketball summer league. When Bryant was 13, he and his family moved back to Philadelphia, where he enrolled in 8th grade at Ballysonwood Middle School. High school. Bryant earned national recognition during a spectacular high school career at Lower Merion High School in Ardmore, located in the Philadelphia suburb of Lower Merion. He played on the varsity basketball team as a freshman. Bryant became the first freshman in decades to start for Lower Merion's varsity team, but the team finished with a .420 record. The following 3 years, the Aces compiled a 77-13 record, with Bryant playing all 5 positions. During his junior year, he averaged 31.1 points, 10.4 rebounds, 5.2 assists, 3.8 blocks and 2.3 steals, and was named Pennsylvania Player of the Year while also earning a 4th Team Parade All-American nomination, attracting attention from college recruiters in the process. Duke, Michigan, North Carolina, and Villanova were at the top of his list. However, after high schooler Kevin Garnett went in the first round of the 1995 NBA draft, Bryant also began contemplating going directly to the pros at Adidas ABCD camp. Bryant earned the 1995 Senior MVP award while playing alongside future NBA teammate Lamar Odom. While in high school, then 7-6 ERS coach John Lucas invited Bryant to work out and scrimmage with the team, where he played one-on-one with Jerry Stackhouse. In his senior year of high school, Bryant led the Aces to their first state championship in 53 years. During the run, he averaged 30.8 points, 12 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 4 steals, and 3.8 blocked shots in leading the Aces to a 31-3 record. Bryant ended his high school career as Southeastern Pennsylvania's all-time leading scorer at 2,883 points, surpassing both Wilt Chamberlain and Lionel Simmons. Bryant received several awards for his outstanding performance during his senior year at Lower Merion. These included being named Naismith High School Player of the Year, Gatorade Men's National Basketball Player of the Year, a McDonald's All-American, a First Team Parade All-American, and a USA Today All-USA First Team Player. Bryant's varsity coach, Greg Downer, commented that he was a complete player who dominates and praised his work ethic, even as the team's top player. In 1996, Bryant took R&B singer Brandy to his senior prom. Ultimately, the 17-year-old Bryant made the decision to go directly into the NBA, becoming only the 6th player in NBA history to do so. Bryant's news was met with a lot of publicity at a time when prep-to-pro NBA players were not very common. His basketball skills and SAT score of 1,080 would have ensured admission to any college he chose, but he did not officially visit any campuses. In 2012, Bryant was honored as one of the 35 greatest McDonald's All-Americans for his high school play as well as his later accomplishments. Professional career. 1996 NBA Draft. Before the 1996 NBA Draft, Bryant had worked out in Los Angeles, where he scrimmaged against former Lakers players Larry Drew and Michael Cooper and, according to then Laker general manager Jerry West, marched over these people. The Lakers were looking to trade their starting center Vlade Divac for a player's draft rights to free up salary cap space to make an offer to free agent center Shaquille O'Neal. Bill Branch, the Charlotte Hornets head scout at the time, said that the Hornets agreed to trade their number 13 pick to the Lakers the day before the draft. Before the trade agreement, the Hornets never considered drafting Bryant. During the draft, the Lakers told the Hornets whom to select minutes before the pick was made. Bryant was the first guard drafted directly out of high school. After the draft, the trade was put in jeopardy when Divac threatened to retire rather than be traded from Los Angeles. However, on June 30, Divac relented on his threat and the trade was made final on July 9, 1996, when the league's off-season moratorium ended. Since Bryant was still 17 at the time, his parents had to co-sign his contract with the Lakers until he was able to sign his own when he turned 18 before the season began. Bryant signed a 3-year rookie contract totaling $3.5 million. Los Angeles Lakers. Adjusting to the NBA. Three-peat. Coming up short. Scoring records and playoff upsets. Back on top. Chasing a 6th championship. Injury-plagued years. Final season. National team career. Bryant declined to play in the 2000 Olympics because he was getting married in the off-season. He also decided not to play in the 2002 FIBA World Championship. Bryant was originally selected for the FIBA Americas Championship in 2003 but withdrew after undergoing arthroscopic shoulder and knee surgeries. In the following summer, he had to withdraw from the Olympic team because of his sexual assault case. Along with LeBron James, he was one of the first 2 players to be publicly named to the 2006-2008 U.S. preliminary roster in 2006 by Jerry Colangelo. However, he was once again sidelined after knee surgery and did not participate in the 2006 FIBA World Championship. Bryant's United States national team career finally began in 2007. He was a member of the 2007 USA Men's Senior National Team and USA FIBA Americas Championship team that finished 10-0, won gold and qualified the United States men for the 2008 Olympics. He started in all 10 of the USA's FIBA Americas Championship games. Bryant averaged 15.3 points, 2.9 assists, 2.0 rebounds, and 1.6 steals per game in the tournament. On June 23, 2008, he was named to the USA Men's Senior National Team for the 2008 Summer Olympics. This was his first time going to the Olympics. Bryant scored 20 points, including 13 in the fourth quarter, along with 6 assists, as Team USA defeated Spain 118-107 in the gold medal game on August 24, 2008, for its first gold medal in a worldwide competition since the 2000 Olympics. He averaged 15.0 points, 2.8 rebounds, and 2.1 assists while shooting .462 from the field in 8 Olympic contests. Bryant rejoined the national team for the 2012 Summer Olympics. After winning another gold medal, Bryant decided to retire from the team. He finished his national team career with a record of 26-0 across 3 tournaments, winning a gold medal each time. Player profile. Bryant primarily played as a shooting guard. He was listed at 6 feet 6 inches and 212 pounds. He was often cited as one of the most dangerous scorers in the NBA. Bryant has drawn frequent comparisons to Jordan, after whom he modeled his playing style. Like Jordan, he became most known for shooting a fall-away jump shot. Chris Ballard of Sports Illustrated described another of Bryant's most famous moves as the jab step and pause, in which Bryant jabbed his non-pivot foot forward to let the defender relax, but instead of bringing the jab foot back, he pushed off of it and drove around his opponent to get to the basket. Bryant established a reputation for taking shots in the closing moments of tight games, even when he was double or triple teamed, and was noted as one of the premier closers in the NBA. In a 2012 annual survey of NBA general managers, Bryant was selected for the 10th consecutive season as the player general managers would want to take a clutch shot with a game on the line. Bryant enjoyed being the villain, and reveled in being booed and then silencing the crowd with his play. His ability to make difficult shots has also drawn criticism of his shot selection. Throughout his career, Bryant was disparaged for being a selfish, high-volume shooter. He missed more field goal attempts in his career than any other player in NBA history. Phil Jackson, who coached Bryant for many years, stated that Bryant tends to force the action, especially when the game isn't going his way. When his shot is off, Kobe will pound away relentlessly until his luck turns. According to Bryant, "I would go 0 for 30 before I would go 0 for 9. 0 for 9 means you beat yourself, you psyched yourself out of the game." In addition to his abilities on offense, Bryant also established himself as a standout defensive player. Bryant rarely drew charges when he played defense, which he believed spared his body and contributed to his longevity. However, some critics have suggested that Bryant's defensive accolades in his later years were based more on his reputation than his actual play. Bryant was also lauded for his relentless work ethic, dubbed the Mamba mentality. Throughout his first 17 seasons, his body was resilient, and he exhibited a high pain threshold while often playing through injuries. A fierce competitor, Bryant made opponents and teammates alike the objects of his scorn. Many players have considered him difficult to play with because of his high level of commitment and performance. According to sports writer Mark Heisler of Forbes, circa 2004-2007, Kobe was the most alienated superstar the NBA had ever seen. After the departure of Shaquille O'Neal, he led the Lakers to 2 NBA championships. During this period, he became more of a mentor to his teammates than he had been earlier in his career. Bryant's longtime head coach Phil Jackson noted a big difference during his 2 Lakers coaching stints in Bryant's demeanor towards his teammates. If Bryant talked to teammates in his earlier years, it was usually "give me the damn ball," but during the latter period, embraced the team and his teammates, calling them up when we were on the road and inviting them out to dinner. It was as if the other players were now his partners, not his personal spear carriers. Basketball legacy. Bryant was called one of the greatest players in the history of our game by NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, and the New York Times wrote that he had one of the most decorated careers in the history of the sport. Reuters called him arguably the best player of his generation, while both Sporting News and TNT named him their NBA Player of the Decade for the 2000s. In 2008 and again in 2016, ESPN ranked him the second greatest shooting guard of all time after Jordan. Players including Kevin Durant, Dirk Nowitzki, Dwayne Wade, and Derrick Rose called Bryant their generation's version of Jordan. The press enterprise described Bryant as maybe the greatest Laker in the organization's history. He was the Lakers' all-time leading scorer, and his 5 titles are tied for the most in franchise history. Both numbers he wore during his career, 8 and 24, were retired by the Lakers on December 18, 2017. In his first year of eligibility, Bryant was named a finalist for the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, weeks after his death, before being elected a couple of months later in April 2020. His formal induction was delayed until 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In October 2021, Bryant was honored as one of the league's greatest players of all time by being named to the NBA 75th anniversary team. With career averages of 25.0 points, 5.2 rebounds, 4.7 assists, and 1.4 steals per game, Bryant was considered one of the most complete players in NBA history. He is the fourth leading scorer in league history with 33,643 points. He was the first player in NBA history to have at least 30,000 career points and 6,000 career assists, and was one of only 4 players with 25,000 points, 6,000 rebounds, and 6,000 assists. Bryant led the NBA in scoring during the 2005-06 and 2006-07 seasons. His 81-point performance against Toronto in 2006 was the second highest in NBA history, behind only Chamberlain's 100. He scored at least 50 points 24 times in his career, which is third in league history behind Jordan and Chamberlain. 6 times Bryant scored at least 60. He was just the third player in NBA history to average 40 points in a calendar month, which he accomplished 4 times. Bryant was voted the league MVP in 2008 and led his team to the 2008 NBA Finals as the first seed in the Western Conference. In the 2008 Summer Olympics, he won a gold medal as a member of the U.S. men's basketball team, occasionally referred to as the Redeem Team. He won another gold medal at the 2012 Summer Olympics. He led the Lakers to 2 more championships in 2009 and 2010, winning the Finals MVP award on both occasions. Bryant was an 18-time All-Star, which ranks second behind only Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's 19. He was chosen a record 18 straight times, each time as a starter. On 4 occasions he was the leading vote-getter. 4 times Bryant was named the All-Star MVP, a record he shares with Bob Pettit. He was selected to the All-NBA team on 15 occasions, tied for the most with Abdul-Jabbar and Tim Duncan, and his 11 first-team honors are tied for the second most with Karl Malone. Bryant was also a 12-time All-Defensive Team selection, trailing only Duncan's 15, and 9 times he was named to the All-Defensive First Team, tied with Jordan, Garnett, and Gary Payton for the most all-time. He was the first guard to play 20 seasons in the NBA. He also won the NBA Slam Dunk Contest in 1997 and was its youngest winner. In his career, Bryant scored 40-plus points in 121 games, and 21 times he recorded a triple-double. During the 2020 NBA playoffs, the Lakers players wore black Mamba jerseys in honor of Bryant. Designed by Bryant himself, the black jersey features a snakeskin pattern with yellow accents and 16 stars representing the team's 16 championships at the time. In Game 2 win against the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals, Anthony Davis made a buzzer-beating 3-pointer and yelled Bryant's name, while the team was wearing the black Mamba jerseys. Following a Game 2 win in the 2020 NBA Finals, LeBron James was asked about the jerseys and had this to say: "It's always special to represent someone that meant so much, not only to the game but also to the Lakers organization for 20-plus years. For us to honor him, being on the floor, this is what it's all about." On January 26, 2022, coinciding with the second anniversary of his death and the helicopter crash, a statue of Bryant and his daughter Gianna was placed at the site where the crash occurred. Later in February, the NBA redesigned the All-Star Game MVP trophy as part of the major redesign of the All-Star Weekend trophies in celebration of the league's 75th anniversary season. NBA career statistics. Regular season. Playoffs. Off the court. Personal life. Bryant was the youngest of 3 children. He grew up with 2 older sisters, Sharia and Shea, and had a close relationship with them until his death. In November 1999, 21-year-old Bryant met 17-year-old Vanessa Lane while she was working as a background dancer on the THA East Side As music video GD Up. Bryant was in the building and working on his debut album. The two began dating and became engaged 6 months later in May 2000, while Lane was still a senior at Marina High School in Huntington Beach, California. To avoid media scrutiny, she finished high school through independent study. According to Vanessa's cousin Lila Lane, there was no prenuptial agreement. Lila said Bryant loved her too much for one. They married on April 18, 2001, at St. Edward the Confessor Catholic Church in Dana Point, California. The wedding was not attended by Bryant's parents, his 2 sisters, his longtime advisor and agent Arn Tellem, or his Laker teammates. Bryant's parents were opposed to the marriage for a number of reasons. Reportedly, Bryant's parents had problems with him marrying so young, especially to a woman who was not African American. This disagreement resulted in an estrangement period of over 2 years, which ended when the couple's first daughter was born. The Bryant's first daughter, Natalia, was born in January 2003. The birth resulted in a reconciliation between Bryant and his parents. Due to an ectopic pregnancy, Vanessa suffered a miscarriage in the spring of 2005. Their second daughter, Gianna Maria Honor, was born in May 2006. On December 16, 2011, Vanessa Bryant filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences, and the couple requested joint custody of their daughters. On January 11, 2013, Bryant and his wife both announced via social media that they had called off their divorce. In early December 2016, Vanessa gave birth to their third daughter, and in January 2019 the Bryants announced they were expecting a fourth daughter. Their daughter was born in June 2019. Bryant was a practicing Catholic. He said his faith and a priest helped him through difficult times, such as the period following his accusation of rape. A Catholic cantor said she was inspired by Bryant's faith, and the respect that he showed her. Bryant and his family were regular attendees at Our Lady Queen of Angels Catholic Church in Newport Beach. Bryant and his daughter, Gianna, received the Eucharist together just hours before they died. Bryant was multilingual. He was fluent in English, Italian, and Spanish. Inspired by the codename for Uma Thurman's character in the Kill Bill films, Bryant assigned himself the nickname of Black Mamba, citing a desire for his basketball skills to mimic the eponymous snake's ability to strike with 99% accuracy at maximum speed, in rapid succession. During the 2012-13 season, he began referring to himself as Vino to describe how his play had been aging like a fine wine. In January 2002, Bryant bought a Mediterranean-style house for $4 million, located on a cul-de-sac in Newport Coast, Newport Beach. He sold the house in May 2015. In 2013, Bryant had a legal disagreement with an auction house over memorabilia from his early years that his mother had put up for auction. Bryant's mother received $450,000 from the auction house for the items, and contended Bryant had given her the rights to the items he had remaining in her home. However, Bryant's lawyers asked the auction house to return the items. Before the scheduled trial, a settlement was reached allowing the auction house the sale of less than 10% of the items. Bryant's parents apologized to him for the misunderstanding in a written statement, and appreciated the financial support he had given them over the years. Bryant was a lifelong fan of his hometown NFL team, the Philadelphia Eagles. He was also a fan of soccer teams Barcelona, AC Milan, and Manchester City. According to Forbes, Bryant's $680 million in career earnings was the most ever by a team athlete during their playing career. He is also a second cousin of his former Lakers teammate Cedric Ceballos. Sexual assault case. Endorsements. Before starting the 1996-97 season, Bryant signed a 6-year contract with Adidas that was worth approximately $48 million. His first signature shoe was the Equipment KB8. Bryant's earlier endorsements included deals with the Coca-Cola Company to endorse their Sprite soft drink, appearing in advertisements for McDonald's, promoting Spalding's new NBA infusion ball, Upper Deck, Italian chocolate company Ferrero Spa's brand Nutella, Russell Corporation, and appearing on his own series of video games by Nintendo. Many companies like McDonald's and Ferrero Spa terminated his contracts when rape allegations against him became public. A notable exception was Nike, Inc., who had signed him to a 5-year, $45 million contract just before the incident. However, they refused to use his image or market a new shoe of his for the year, but eventually did start promoting Bryant once his image recovered 2 years later. He has since resumed endorsement deals with the Coca-Cola Company, through their subsidiary Energy Brands, to promote their vitamin water brand of drinks. Bryant was also the cover athlete for NBA 07, featuring the Life Volume 2, and appeared in commercials for the video games Guitar Hero World Tour in 2008 and Call of Duty, Black Ops in 2010. In a 2008 video promoting Nike's Hyperdunk shoes, Bryant appears to jump over a speeding Aston Martin. The stunt was considered to be fake, and the Los Angeles Times said a real stunt would probably be a violation of Bryant's Lakers contract. After promoting Nike's Hyperdunk shoes, Bryant came out with the 4th edition of his signature line by Nike, the Zoom Kobe 4. In 2010 Nike launched another shoe, Nike Zoom Kobe V. In 2009, Bryant signed a deal with Nubio to market the Black Mamba collection, a line of sports/luxury watches that range from $25,000 to $285,000. On February 9, 2009, Bryant was featured on the cover of ESPN the magazine. However, it was not for anything basketball related, rather, it was about Bryant being a big fan of FC Barcelona. CNN estimated Bryant's endorsement deals in 2007 to be worth $16 million a year. In 2010, Bryant was ranked 3rd behind Tiger Woods and Jordan in Forbes' list of the world's highest-paid athletes with $48 million. On December 13, 2010, Bryant signed a 2-year endorsement deal with Turkey's national airline, Turkish Airlines. The deal involved Bryant being in a promotional film to be aired in over 80 countries in addition to his being used in digital, print and billboard advertising. In September 2012, Bryant shot a commercial for Turkish Airlines with FC Barcelona star Lionel Messi. In the airline's latest commercial, the duo competes to win the attention of a young boy. In 2013, Forbes listed Bryant the 5th highest-paid sports star in the world behind Floyd Mayweather, Cristiano Ronaldo, LeBron James, and Lionel Messi. Bryant appeared as the cover athlete for the following video games. Kobe Bryant in NBA Courtside. NBA Courtside 2, featuring Kobe Bryant. NBA Courtside 2002. NBA 3-on-3 featuring Kobe Bryant. NBA 07, featuring The Life Volume 2. NBA 09, The Inside. NBA 2K10. NBA 2K17. NBA 2K21. Bryant was also one of the global ambassadors of the 2019 FIBA Basketball World Cup in China. Music. In high school, Bryant was a member of a rap group called Chiza, named after the Chi Sa gang in the martial arts film Kid with the Golden Arm. The group was signed by Sony Entertainment, but the company's ultimate goal was to eliminate the group and have Bryant record on his own. The label wanted to capitalize on Bryant's youth and NBA fame. He performed at a 1997 concert by Sway and King Tech and recorded a verse for a remix of Brian McKnight's Hold Me. Bryant even appeared on Lakers teammate O'Neal's Respect, starting the track 3X's Dope, though Bryant's name was not listed on the credits. Sony pushed Bryant from his roots of underground hip-hop into a more radio-friendly sound. His debut album, Visions, was scheduled to release in the spring of 2000. The first single, K.O.B.E, featured supermodel Tyra Banks singing the hook. The single debuted in January 2000, and was performed at NBA All-Star Weekend that month. The song was not well received. Sony abandoned plans for the album, which was never released, and dropped Bryant later that year. The Sony president who originally signed Bryant had already left, and Bryant's other backers had mostly abandoned him. Afterward, Bryant co-founded an independent record label, Heads High Entertainment, but it folded within a year. In 1999, Bryant appeared on a remix of Say My Name by Destiny's Child on the maxi single version of the song. In 2011, Bryant was featured in Taiwanese singer Jay Chu's single The Heaven and Earth Challenge. The proceeds for downloads of both the single and ringtones were donated to impoverished schools for basketball facilities and equipment. The music video of the single also features Bryant. The song was also used by Sprite in its 2011 marketing campaign in China. In 2009, American rapper Lil Wayne released a song called Kobe Bryant. Similarly, in 2010, American rapper Sho Baraka released a song called Kobe Bryant on M, which was featured on his album Lions and Liars. In 2012, American rapper Chief Keef released a song paying tribute to Kobe Bryant called Kobe. It was featured on his debut studio album, Finally Rich, as a part of the deluxe edition. Film and television. Bryant made his acting debut in 1996, appearing in an episode of Moesha. He met the show's star, Brandy, earlier in the year at a Nike All-Star basketball game, and then a couple of months later in May 1996, Brandy was Bryant's date to his high school senior prom. That same year, he guest-starred as himself on an episode of Arlie Dollar and Sister. In 1997, he appeared on an episode of Hang Time. This was followed by a guest appearance on the Nickelodeon sketch comedy series All That. Bryant was also the first choice for the role of Jesus Shuttlesworth in Spike Lee's 1998 film He Got Game, but he turned down the role, saying this summer is too big for me. Bryant was the subject of Spike Lee's 2009 documentary film Kobe Doin' Work, which chronicled Bryant during the 2007-08 NBA season. In 2018, Bryant became the first African American to win the Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film and the first former professional athlete to be nominated and to win an Academy Award in any category for his film Dear Basketball. Despite winning the Oscar, he was denied membership into the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences due to his past sexual abuse case and their new set of standards of conduct within the recent Me Too movement. The film also won the Annie Award for Best Animated Short Subject and a Sports Emmy Award. The film was produced by Bryant's production company, Granity Studios. In addition to future animation projects, he had been in talks with animator veteran Bruce Smith for the last 6 months before his death about starting his own animation studio. Beginning in 2018, Bryant wrote, produced and hosted the television series Detail, which aired for multiple seasons on ESPN and ESPN+. It featured his insights into the game of basketball and in-depth analyses of games and individual players. He also appeared on MTV's Ridiculousness in 2019. Filmography. Philanthropy. Bryant was the official ambassador for After School All-Stars, an American nonprofit organization that provides comprehensive after-school programs to children in 13 U.S. cities. Bryant also started the Kobe Bryant China Fund, which partnered with the Soong-Ching Ling Foundation, a charity backed by the Chinese government. The Kobe Bryant China Fund raises money within China earmarked for education and health programs. On November 4, 2010, Bryant appeared alongside Zach Braff at the Call of Duty Black Ops launch event at the Santa Monica Airport, where they presented a $1 million check to the Call of Duty Endowment, an Activision-founded nonprofit organization that helps veterans transition to civilian careers after their military service has ended. Together with his wife, Bryant founded the Kobe and Vanessa Bryant Family Foundation. Its goals are helping young people in need, encouraging the development of physical and social skills through sports, and assisting the homeless. Bryant spoke of the injustice aimed at homeless people who are blamed for their situation, saying that homelessness should not be ignored or made a low priority. Bryant said he wanted more out of life than just a successful basketball career. Bryant and his wife Vanessa were founding donors of the National Museum of African American History and Culture, with Bryant also donating his uniform that he wore in the 2008 NBA Finals, the year he was named the league MVP. During his lifetime, Bryant granted over 200 requests for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Business ventures. Bryant established Kobe Incorporated to own and grow brands in the sports industry. The initial investment was a 10% stake in the Body Armor Super Drink Company for $6 million in March 2014. The headquarters are in Newport Beach, California. With the Coca-Cola Company purchasing a minority stake in the company in August 2018, the valuation of Bryant's stake rose to approximately $200 million. In 2013, Bryant launched a production company called Granity Studios, which developed different media, ranging from films to television shows and novels. On August 22, 2016, Bryant and his business partner Jeff Stibble launched Bryant Stibble, a venture capital firm focused on different businesses including media, data, gaming, and technology. With $100 million in funding. In 2018, Bryant and Sports Academy launched Mamba Sports Academy, a joint athletic training business venture. The academy established locations in Thousand Oaks and Redondo Beach, California. Books. On October 23, 2018, Bryant's book The Mamba Mentality, How I Play, with photographs and afterword by Andrew D. Bernstein, an introduction by Phil Jackson, and a foreword by Pau Gasol, was published by MCD/Ferrer, Strauss, and Giroux. The book looks back on his career with photos and his reflections. At the time of his death, he was working with Brazilian author Paulo Coelho on a children's book aimed at inspiring underprivileged children. After Bryant's death, Coelho deleted the draft, saying in an interview that it didn't make any sense to publish without him. He did not say how many pages had been written or whether the book had a title. Bryant also co-wrote/produced several young adult novels through Granity Studios, the Wisnard series, Training Camp, Legacy, and the Queen, and Epoca, The Tree of Ekrof. A fourth novel, the Wisnard series, Season 1, was released posthumously in March 2020. The Wizardnard series, Season 1 topped the New York Times middle grade hardcover list. Death. Accident. At 9:06 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on January 26, 2020, a Sikorsky S-76 helicopter departed from John Wayne Airport in Orange County, California, with 9 people aboard: Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter Gianna, 6 family friends, and the pilot, Ara Zabayan. The helicopter was registered to the Fillmore-based Island Express Holding Corp., according to the California Secretary of State Business Database. The group was traveling to Camarillo Airport in Ventura County for a basketball game at Mamba Sports Academy in Thousand Oaks. Due to light rain and fog that morning, the Los Angeles Police Department helicopters and most other air traffic were grounded. The flight tracker showed that the helicopter circled above the LA Zoo due to heavy air traffic in the area. At 9:30 a.m., Zabayan contacted the Burbank Airport's control tower, notifying the tower of the situation, and was told he was flying too low to be tracked by radar. At that time, the helicopter experienced extreme fog and turned south towards the mountains. At 9:40 a.m., the helicopter climbed rapidly from 1,200 to 2,000 feet, flying at 161 knots. At 9:45 a.m., the helicopter crashed into the side of a mountain in Calabasas, about 30 miles northwest of downtown Los Angeles, and began burning. Bryant, his daughter, and the other 7 occupants were all killed on impact. Initial reports indicated that the helicopter crashed in the hills above Calabasas in heavy fog. Witnesses reported hearing a helicopter struggling before crashing. Investigations. On January 28, Bryant's identity was officially confirmed using fingerprints. The following day, the Los Angeles County Department of Medical Examiner coroner stated that the official cause of death for him and the 8 others on the helicopter was blunt force trauma. The Federal Aviation Administration, National Transportation Safety Board, and the FBI launched investigations into the crash. The cause of the crash was hard to investigate, as the helicopter was not equipped with a black box. Over a year after the crash, on February 9, 2021, the NTSB declared that pilot Ira Zabayan probably became disoriented after flying into thick clouds. The 5 board members also said Zabayan, who also died in the crash, ignored his training and violated federal regulations during the 40-minute flight. Tributes and funeral services. On February 7, Bryant and his daughter were buried in a private funeral in Pacific View Memorial Park in the Corona del Mar neighborhood of Newport Beach, California. A public memorial service was held on February 24 at Staples Center with Jimmy Kimmel hosting. Speakers at the service included Vanessa, Jordan, and O'Neill, along with Phoenix Mercury guard Diana Taurasi and Gino Orima, Taurasi's coach at Connecticut, where Gianna had been aspiring to play. The NBA had postponed the Lakers game against the Clippers just 2 days after the accident on January 28, the first time an NBA game was postponed for any reason since the 2013 Boston Marathon bombing led to the postponement of a Celtics game. On January 30, the first game after the crash was played at Staples Center between the Clippers and the Kings. The Clippers honored Bryant before the game, with Southern California native Paul George narrating a video tribute to Bryant. The next day, the Lakers played their first game after the crash against the Trail Blazers. Ahead of the match, the Lakers paid tribute to Bryant and all who lost their lives in the crash with a ceremony held just before tip-off, with Usher singing Amazing Grace and Boyz II Men singing the national anthem, while Wiz Khalifa and Charlie Puth reunited to perform See You Again, originally their tribute to Paul Walker after his death while filming Furious 7 at halftime. James also delivered a speech to the crowd before the game, and every player in the Lakers' starting lineup was announced with Bryant's name. The game was the second most watched in ESPN history, averaging 4.41 million viewers. Also, beginning with the Spurs and the Raptors in their game in San Antonio on the day of the crash, teams paid tribute to Bryant at the start of their games with intentional on-court violations referring to his uniform numbers on their first possession, either a 24-second shot clock or an 8-second backcourt violation. On February 15, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver announced that the All-Star Game MVP award would be renamed to the NBA All-Star Game Kobe Bryant Most Valuable Player in Bryant's honor. In May 2020, the Mamba Sports Academy was renamed to Sports Academy out of respect for Bryant. The 62nd Annual Grammy Awards went ahead as scheduled at the Staples Center on the day of the crash, but included tributes by multiple artists and groups, including host Alicia Keys opening the show with a tribute speech in which she called Staples Center the house that Kobe Bryant built, and joining Boyz II Men to sing It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday. Bryant also appeared at the start of the In Memoriam segment of the 92nd Academy Awards following his Oscar in 2018 for Dear Basketball, and Spike Lee wore a suit in tribute to him at the ceremony. He was not included in the montages at the 2020 VMAs and Emmys, held later in the year. Fans were upset at the omission, especially as actors Naya Rivera and Chadwick Boseman had been featured prominently in both. After Rivera and Boseman's unexpected deaths in July and August 2020 respectively, the three young black celebrities were popularly compared. The 2020 Pro Bowl was also played at Camping World Stadium in Orlando on the day of the crash, and before kickoff, NFC players who learned of Bryant's death conducted a prayer led by Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson, while various on-field and paw tributes were made during the game. After the Lakers beat the Miami Heat in Game 6 of the 2020 NBA Finals to clinch the franchise's 17th NBA championship, rapper, Lakers fan, and Long Beach native Snoop Dogg paid homage to Bryant and the Lakers with a full forearm tattoo. Bryant was posthumously inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame in 2021, with Vanessa delivering the acceptance speech on Bryant's behalf. See also